15 lakh Indians registered for JEE exams last year. 1.8 lakh qualified and registered for the advanced stage. And for how many seats? Roughly 18,000 seats at IITs, and if we add seats at NITs, triple ITs and such good tech institutes, we still have only 40,000 seats. That is a selection rate of 2% to even get into a good college. And if you want to study computer science at top IITs, you need a rank under 300. Now we would imagine that any child who is brilliant enough to get this rank would consider himself so lucky to join an IIT. And this is where comes the most shocking part. The top rankers are not even joining the IITs. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself and this channel. I am Nishtha Tripathi, founder of Scholar Strategy and 24 North Star. Over the past decade, I have helped thousands of Indian families make smarter study abroad decisions, from high school students to PhD candidates. I studied computer science at UIUC on a full scholarship, worked on Wall Street for some time, and later dropped out of NYU's MBA to start my own business. I have lived the international education journey, the struggles, the wins, the harsh realities. 24 North Star exists for one reason, and that is to give Indian parents honest, unbiased guidance on their child's education. We don't take any commission from universities, no sugar coating, just the truth about what works and what doesn't. If you're a parent feeling lost in the Indian education system, whether it's NEET, JEE, or just figuring out what's next for your class 9th or 10th kid, this channel is for you. And today's video is dedicated to all parents who believe that IIT is the only path to success, because guess what? It's not. Let me start with a story that is becoming increasingly common. Last year, Devesh Bhaiya, who was All India rank 8 in JEE Advanced 2025, made the headlines, not because he got into IITs, but because he was leaving IIT to join MIT. And he is not alone. Ved Lahoti, the 2024 JEE topper, did the same thing. Before them, students like Chirag Falor and Chitrang Murdia chose foreign education over IITs as well. Now, if you are a parent watching this, you might be thinking these are exceptional cases, my child is not a topper. And that's exactly the conversation you need to have, because this isn't just about the toppers anymore. This is about a fundamental shift in how ambitious Indian families are thinking about their children's education. Let me break down what's really happening and, more importantly, what it means for your family. I want to begin with the harsh reality of Indian education system. We already looked at the brutal odds of getting into the IITs. Now let's understand what exactly are you getting after going through such a cutthroat competitive entrance examinations. So let's look at some rankings. Now these are the top Indian institutions in the QS World Rankings of 2026. In the top 200, we have 3 IITs, with IIT Delhi topping at 123. We have IIT Kharagpur, Indian Institute of Science in 200s, and then we have University of Delhi, IIT Guwahati and Roorkee in 300s. And honestly, this is a massive improvement over the past few years when Indian universities would not even make it into the top 500 universities. We all know that Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Oxford, Cambridge are obviously in the top 10 rankings. But even if you take a very mediocre institute from the US like the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, it is actually ranked at 247, which is much higher than IIT Guwahati and IIT Roorkee. The point is, there are a ton of very, very good institutes in the US and Europe that are considered much better than our top institutes like IIT. Let's now look at the infrastructure and curriculum. Forget the ranks. Let's talk about the infrastructure, the R&D, the labs that these colleges have. The real question is, what kind of education prepares your child for a world that's changing faster than ever before? Like the jobs your class 10th child will apply for in 2035, many of them don't exist yet. A 2023 World Economic Forum report estimated that 65% of children entering primary school today will work in jobs that have not even been invented yet. So when you are choosing between IIT and foreign universities, you are not just choosing a college, You are choosing an education system, a way of thinking, a preparation for a future that's fundamentally uncertain. If you're studying a course like robotics, mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, etc., these require exposure to the latest machinery and heavy duty instruments. Indian colleges have terrible labs, we all know that, and even if they get expensive machinery from abroad, they don't let the students even touch it, forget experimenting with it. I have already heard from so many students at IITs, DUs, and other top colleges how outdated our teaching methodology is, how our professors still rely on age old curriculums and discourage explorations which our future generations desperately need. The Indian education system, and I say this as someone who was a gold medalist in my undergrad here, rewards memorization. It rewards solving problems that have known answers. The American system, the European system, they reward critical thinking. They reward asking questions that don't even have an answer yet. When I moved to the US for my master's at UIUC, I was shocked. There were open book exams, group projects, professors who wanted to hear my opinion, not just regurgitating their lectures. It was uncomfortable, but it transformed how I think. Talking about entrance examinations, of course, the competition is the ultimate nail in the coffin. We all saw the brutal numbers required for IIT and JEE examination selection. Less than 50% even get a seat, less than 1% get a very good seat. But that's not all. This is where numbers get more and more interesting. There are 9 IITs, yes, 9, who received 0 admissions from the top 2000 rankers in 2025. Not a single top performer chose them. Students just want to study at IIT Bombay, Delhi or Madras. That's a massive divide happening within the IIT system itself. So if top students are not filling all IIT seats, where are they going? The data from Ministry of External Affairs shows that 18 lakh Indian students are studying abroad as of 2025. That's not a typo, that's 18 lakh students. And it's not just for master's degrees anymore. Increasingly, families are sending their children for undergrad programs. In fact, while number of Indian students enrolling for masters in US dipped by 12% last year, the number of students going for bachelor's degrees has actually increased by 2% in the US. My own nephew, a brilliant topper of his school, chose to study economics instead of PCM and is now heading abroad for his bachelor studies with scholarship. I'll create a separate video on it some other time. But the point is right now that the days when JEE or NEET was considered the only path for success are long gone. We have all heard the burnout stories of students at Kota and other coaching centers. No wonder a lot of parents are not willing to pay the emotional price of getting into top IITs and medical colleges in India. Very smart Indian kids, full of potential, are intentionally stepping away from the rat race of these exams. But should you give up on the JEE pathway altogether? And the answer is no, you don't have to. Many families want to keep the JEE option open but also create a backup option abroad so that they are not stuck with the second tier colleges in India. And if you also want to take this route, then here's how you need to plan. So let's talk about this smart plan and what it is. Now let me tell you what most consultants won't say, because they are either selling you IT coaching or they are getting fat commissions from the foreign universities. I don't take commissions from any university. My only goal is to help your child get the best possible outcome. So here's the truth. If you're making the backup plan in class 12th, you have already lost 3 years of profile building. The students getting into top 30 foreign universities started this conversation in class 9 itself. Admissions abroad look at holistic profiles and not just someone who is doing well in his ACADS. This means you have to do some activities beyond your school curriculum, and it takes time as well as planning. If you start late, you cannot balance the global admissions and JEE prep simultaneously. And if you are not careful, you may not get into either, or worse yet, you may spend 40 to 60 lakh on a mediocre university abroad because you started planning too late. You didn't take SAT or ACT at the right time, you didn't build the right extracurricular profile, you even missed the scholarship deadlines. So don't let that happen to you. But before I give you my framework to follow, let's do the money talk. The biggest reason many Indian families think that going abroad for bachelors is unfeasible or impractical is because it looks expensive, and that's a valid concern. Let me address it directly. First, not all foreign education is expensive. Germany offers world-class engineering programs with minimal tuition fee. It has its own extra requirements though. Many European countries have affordable options as well. Second, scholarships exist in some places, but you need to plan early to access them. And third, and this is the harsh truth, you need to do the ROI calculation properly. Here's the math you need to understand. Let's say if you follow the IIT path, that is 4 years of undergrad education, 10 to 12 lakh. Even Ashoka is 50 lakh investment, by the way. Starting salary in India, 12 to 20 lakh per year. Exceptions get even 1 crore. Career trajectory, slower initial growth, but potential for higher earnings after 5 to 7 years or a master's degree abroad. And if you do not get into the tier 1 colleges, you are barely earning 3 to 7 lakh per annum. If you go the top foreign university path, the 4 years undergrad can cost you 40 lakh to 2 CR in US and UK or 10 to 30 lakh in many European countries. Starting salary abroad, $80 to $120,000, that is 65 lakh to 1 crore per year in US and 30 to 50 lakh in others. Career trajectory, faster initial growth, global opportunities, but visa dependency. Now, I am not saying foreign is always better, but I am saying you need to make an informed decision based on your family's financial situation, your child's ambitions, and the specific opportunities available. You can play it safe in India and settle with 10 lakh salaries, or you can take a risk upfront and try for better career growth in a global company abroad. Now let me tell you what exactly you should do. So here's my framework for the parents who are watching this. If your child is in class 9th, that's perfect because you have time. Spend next 2 years building a profile that works for both IIT and foreign universities. Begin SAT and ACT prep, build genuine extracurriculars early on so that you can devote more time in JEE coaching later. Now, if your child is in class 11th, you are in the middle zone. You can still build a strong profile, but you need to move fast. Get clarity on which path makes sense for your family. Don't wait until JEE results to start exploring other options. But if your child is in class 12th, that means you are in reactive mode, and that's okay. Many families are. But do understand that your options are more limited. You'll need to be strategic about which universities you target and realistic about scholarship possibilities. Biggest mistake I see parents make is waiting. Waiting for JEE results, waiting for the right time, waiting until their child figures it out. Your child won't figure it out. They are 16 or 17 years old, dealing with board exams and peer pressure and Instagram. They need guidance, they need a plan. And that plan needs to start with you having the right information. The point is that the world is changing, the education system is changing, the opportunities available to your child are changing. The question is, are you changing with it? I started 24 North Star so that Indian families can make more well-informed education and career decisions, and I hope today's video helped you in that regard. If it did, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button because we will have more content like this coming up every single week. That's it from my side. I'm Nishtha and I'll see you in the next video.